What does it take to become a DJ today? How do you keep pushing forward and build a career all while staying true to yourself? Well, last month I invited Arnie Wrong, a DJ, producer, and all round powerhouse, onto my Voices radio show to discuss all of this and more. Now, I'll be honest, the video quality is not that great. We have since fixed that issue. However, the content of the conversation is definitely worth sticking around for. Arnie shared some very raw and invaluable insights about the highs and lows of being a DJ, advice for aspiring creatives, navigating sobriety in the nightlife scene, and so much more. We had such a great time talking with each other. I really love and respect her as a person and as a DJ, and I am very excited to share this interview. So if you are into music, DJ culture, or just love hearing about other people's careers and stories of reinvention and resilience, then this video is for you. So, let's get into it because I mean, I know you, but I don't think we've properly chatted about your journey into the music industry. You know, how did you get into DJing, the industry as a whole? Let's set the scene for us, please.
How long have we got? I don't think an hour is enough. Going to be really showing my age here. Yes, so my background is actually in live music and in bands. So I got into DJing through a really weird route, which is I started playing in between live bands for my friends who were putting on gigs. And I knew them because I was playing the live gigs as well with my band for them. So I just started off by playing indie music, basically at like indie shows. And then that kind of, because I really enjoyed it and I was decent at it, I started getting booked for like bars, because then my friends started getting jobs as like bookers for, you know, venues. So one of my first residencies was what is now called Colours Hoxton. It used to be called Hoxton Square Bar and Kitchen, and also the Islington Garage. So I would mostly play, around live events. And so I mostly played like, you know, bar music for a really long time. And then eventually I was like, I'm getting quite good at this. Like I want to, you know
That. Back
what I
yourself.
mean? Yeah, I want to see how far I can take this. And then just before the pandemic, I was kind of busy enough to be able to quit my job, which is also in the music industry. I've worked in sync for a long time. So yeah, in October 2019, I was like, yes, I'm going to become a full-time DJ. And I had a blissful, 4 months of doing that before March 2020.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that was a bit unexpected. But here we are, and it was actually really good for me because I had that time to really think about like, okay, what do I want? How do I take it to the next level? And I think really only after the pandemic, the real like Arnie sound and Arnie brand was formed.
Nice. See, do you know what? I talk about this all the time about how important it is to actually take a step back to get some perspective on what you need to do, because especially in this industry, it's so hard when you're like, I feel like you're just running around doing a million things all the time, and it can be really hard to figure out what you actually need to do because you're just on autopilot. So yeah, that resonates with me. How has your experience been overall in the music industry? I feel like, I don't know, it can be very mixed. I've spoken to a lot of people who've mostly positive, but you know, it is hard to make it work.
Yeah, do you know what? Like sometimes I have these moments, especially when things get hard. I've been doing this for about a year now, where like I take a step back and I think, do you know what? If my like 14-year-old self or 12-year-old self or even like 16-year-old self knew what I'm doing now, she'd fall off the chair, you know what I mean? So I'm very aware that right now I'm very grateful for what I do, and I know that I'm living somebody's dream, and I know I'm like I didn't even know that this could be my dream to do what I do, you know, like make a living from the music industry, because I do have a full-time job which is in the music industry, and I get to be creative, I get to be hands-on with music production, which is such a great way to earn money. And then I get to do this on the weekends and share music with people, you know. And you know, I'm an immigrant, so like I'm in London playing in some of the best clubs in the world, just sharing music and my love for music with the world in this foreign country. Like, so overall I'm like, pinching myself a lot of the time, but also the other half of the time, I'm just so sleep deprived that I don't even know what my name is.
Yes, here, 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 here. You touched actually on something that I wanted to talk about. Would love to learn more about your background. I know you kind of come from quite a multicultural family. So walk us through that, your journey to coming here, and also how you feel that this has influenced your sound and like your music taste, that kind of thing.
Yeah, interesting question. So I was born in Poland and we moved to Sweden when I was a teenager. That's where I grew up. And then I came here in 2008. I'm really showing my age, aren't I? Yeah, I mean, I always wanted to. I think something always drew me to London because I knew subconsciously like this is where the music is. And even though back then when I was moving, I wasn't fully like I didn't have like a direction, but I just always knew that I wanted to have something to do with music. So how did that shape my experience? Well, interestingly, so I did have quite an interesting upbringing. I grew up in a very kind of Orthodox Christian family. I actually the first place I ever lived was a Baptist church.
No way.
So
Wow.
I grew up in church. So I got into music through like being in the church band, and my dad was in the church band, and so I've been performing like ever since I could stand up really in like Sunday school. But basically because we lived in this kind of religious bubble, I wasn't really exposed to like commercial music so much. So only after coming to London, like as a very very young adult, I've been exposed to even like the noughties pop hits.
That must have been so strange as well. Like, do you remember what the first song was that you heard? You probably
no,
would
it's
do.
not like I was a Mormon and I never heard, you know what I mean? So, but like stuff wasn't on the radio, but it wasn't like I wasn't going to parties as a teenager and stuff like that. So it's stuff that I kind of like vaguely knew about, but I had like no in-depth knowledge of, and like I didn't know
like direct access.
I didn't know like the catalog of Outcast, for instance. I didn't realize that all the stuff that I heard on the radio was like Outcast, and they have so many bangers, or like Missy Elliott, same thing. So actually, like coming to London and like back in when I was kind of in my heyday of partying, F's in Dalston was like a big thing, and they played a lot of like noughties hip hop and R&B, and that's when I kind of that was like my hacienda moment of like when people go clubbing and they have like they find themselves. So I found myself to like Missy Elliott and Snoop Dogg, F's,
yeah.
And because the way that these sets were just fun, and everybody knew the words and everyone was singing along, and like the setting, it was a snooker club. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's like an old man Turkish snooker club. And the beers were £3.
No.
Yeah. And if you're a hot girl, like the security will let you like smuggle in like beers in your back pocket. So
it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's that kind of vibe. So and that really really shaped kind of how I DJ and how I kind of got into DJing and how I became like a good DJ, because I saw the power of like a crowd pleaser and like throwing in a crowd pleaser at the right time. And also knowing that like, yes, to an extent, you want to educate the dance floor, you want to play songs that you just discovered, but you kind of like, you need those moments of uniting the dance floor where everybody sings along and everybody just like unites.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So I want to ask about lessons. I feel like life lessons, like if you could, I mean, we spoke about, if your 14-year-old self could see what you're doing now, but like, what do you know now? What have you learned through your experience that you wish you knew when you first started in the journey?
Yeah. I've got like 3 things I can think of at the top of my head. Thing number 1, ask for what you want. And actually, you'd be surprised how often you will get it. I'm not going to say 50%. Well, you might actually get it 50% of the time or more if you just ask for what you want. Like, I asked to play at Pike's, and then I got an answer, yes, when these are the dates, when do you want to play?
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's literally that simple, And I mean, obviously you have to build the relationship first. I guess lesson number 2 is also like, if you want to work with someone, be a genuine fan first.
Yeah.
Don't come being like, hey, I want to work with you. Show some love, show some appreciation. Lesson number 2.
Or 3. Wait, that was 2.
Oh yeah, that was 2, but that was a bonus 2.
Okay. We've got
Yeah,
4.
two and a
Two and a
half.
half. Yeah.
Start before you're ready. Whatever it is that you want to do, don't wait, because you'll actually never be ready. Especially if it's something big, you will never be ready.
Gosh, you're such a wise woman.
No, but it's true.
It's true.
You know what I
really
mean?
true.
And the sooner you start, the sooner you've made the mistakes that you need to make in order to learn and get better at the things. So just whatever you're waiting for, just start already.
Yeah.
You will suck at the beginning anyways, whatever it is that you're doing.
It's a process, isn't it? It's not linear.
Yeah. And then final lesson, which is something that I'm only just learning now, actually, the power of social media. And just like putting yourself out there, you know. I didn't realize it. This year I'm really taking it quite seriously. And people are just hungry for like discovering new music, for connecting with like-minded people who kind of curate to their taste. So yeah, just put yourself out there, like let people like hear what you're into, build a community around that.
Gosh, they are the best tips I think I've got so far doing an interview. They were really good. Really, I hope everyone's enjoyed those and taking notes.
Let's see more where that came from. I'm open to private bookings.
I love it. So, God, the time flies. I feel like we need to get through these questions because I want to do some back to back. I want to talk a little bit about your journey to becoming sober because I think it's really interesting and it's particularly poignant because I think there's been quite a big movement towards this just generally. But I respect it so much because, as we all know, this industry is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest, to do that. I think it's very much geared towards obviously that party lifestyle, substance consumption of various kinds. So how did you what was that journey like for you? How do you find navigating that at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I have to say it's one of the best choices I've ever made in my life. And I never said this is forever, I'm never going to drink again. I think the reason why I've been able to keep it going is because I've kept it very open for myself. And I always said, I might feel like drinking again. And when I do, I will. But for now, I'm really enjoying this. How did I get into it? I think a pandemic was like a good break from it and that helped me. But also like I had to stop for medical reasons for a few months. And then because I was already that age when hangovers are just like unbearable, I just couldn't get back into it afterwards. So it was literally that simple. But also, I realized that it was actually really ruining my health, I think. And because I was a full-time DJ and I was getting a bottle of tequila on my rider every single night, 3 nights a week. It's bad for your, it's bad for your health. It's bad for your mental health. And sometimes there'd be times where I was like, wow, I've been drinking for 20 days straight in a row. Like I can feel my liver. You're not supposed to feel your liver, but I do. And I mean, now, I'm fully locked in when I DJ. I'm fully present. I'm able to have a job at the same time as doing this. I'm able to do everything to quite a high level, and I like to keep it professional. So I've just been really enjoying this. And I don't get into any like silly shenanigans that I might regret later. I always know when it's time to go home.
You've got no more beer fear. Is that what it's called? The beer fear?
Oh, is
Sunday?
that what it's
I don't know.
called?
There's some sort of expression.
Yeah, I just know it's the fear.
The fear. No, that sounds great. I really respect that. And which actually brings me, I've got some questions from social, and one of them is what's on your rider? So now that you're sober, talk us through your new and improved DJ rider.
Yeah, do you know what? Last weekend I played, and it's the first time I ever got my full rider. And I text all my friends. I was like, guys, right. So it's 85 or more % dark chocolate.
Perfect.
If you can
You did actually tell me about this when we played at Night Tales together, and it's life changing.
It is life changing. It gives you so much energy. It's like a Red Bull, but it doesn't give you a heart attack. Number 2, and that's actually the number 1. That's the essential one. CBD drinks, trip drinks. I need it. Yeah. So good. Number 3 is green tea. And then, I had another one. Sometimes I have kombucha. My mind went My mind went blank. I feel like there's another weird one, but
Don't you have a towel? Do you have a towel?
oh yeah, I do have a
You do?
towel.
I
Yeah,
think I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to think back to what I saw on the email.
Yeah, it's just, oh yeah, you saw my rider, didn't you? Yeah, it's just because like if it's bloody sweaty, like
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're smart. I know. See, I never thought about that, but it will be in my rider from now on. So
Yeah, do it.
sure. Next question: what is the best and worst thing about being a DJ?
Best thing is just the dopamine from sharing music with people and seeing people's faces light up and seeing people just have so much fun, and that energy is infectious.
Yeah.
So you carry that with you for the rest of the week. But the worst thing is the sleep deprivation.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you think?
I would 100% agree. Yeah, I agree with both of those things. Okay, if you could play one song for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That is a tough one. I was thinking about this one on my way here. I think right now, I'm sure it'll change. Right now, it's Masarima Freak Like You because it's good for my soul, but it's also good for the dance
Yeah,
floor.
it is. Oh, recently, I think I played that at Fabric actually, a version
Did
of that. Yeah, it
you?
was really fun. Nice little switch up just to like, are you concentrating? Are you concentrating? And we're back.
Banger.
Have you ever had like, I mean, I hopefully would like to say that we're in a space now where we get very few requests. But have you ever had any like, what's the weirdest request you've ever had during a set? If that's happened to you.
Oh man, I wish you'd asked me this question like yesterday, so I had time to think about it. But I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm just trying to think. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I can
I mean,
probably
Taylor Swift is one of mine.
yeah, Taylor
But like
Swift.
in an environment where it's like, you know, I'm not going to play that, so I don't know why you've asked me.
Yeah, somebody when I was playing at Coco, somebody like flashed their phone at me and they requested Swedish sauce. I don't know what that is, but I
Ah.
thought that was really weird. Do you know what that is?
I don't know. Does anyone in the studio know what that is? No, we're all shaking our heads.
So somebody requested bloody Swedish sauce on their phone
Interesting.
screen. It must have been
Okay.
important enough for them to flash it at me. I don't know what that was. So that's pretty weird, I
That is
guess.
pretty weird. Really weird. Well, I think it's time we do a little tiny back to back to see us out. While I talk a little bit about what people can expect from the next show, do you want to cue up a little tune?
I will.
Yeah, okay.
Exciting times.
Okay, so next month I'm going to be joined by Jade Edwards, who's an incredible selectress. Yeah, oh, she's screaming. Yeah, we love Jade. We love Jade. I mean, how do you even describe? Oh, she's just. That's actually such a nice reaction. I'm going to send this clip to her. Yeah, she's been making some waves in the soulful house scene. She plays all kinds of stuff. She plays disco. She plays funk. You know, she's kind of like us. I think she's just a groovy gal. She's played with Defected, Pure House London. I think she's either from Manchester or Liverpool. She's from Liverpool. But yeah, we're going to have her in the show again for some tunes and some chats. I'm really excited. You have been listening to Tiffany Quinn on Voices Radio. I've had Arnie Wrong on here. Arnie, is there anything we need to shout out about that's coming up? Me and you are going to be playing together. I'll let you chat.
Yes, we're playing together a back-to-back, another warm-up back-to-back before our back-to-back at Westival on the 18th of April at Cafe 1001 for Flat Earth Disco. Yeah, really excited about that. Gorgeous space, gorgeous company. It's going to be really, really good.
And then, of course, we've got Westival, so it's going to be fabulous. Okay, have you got a tune? I'm putting pressure on you now to pick something. Do you know what? Just pick it and we'll figure it out. Okay, here we go. Back to back to see us out. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your evening. That is a wrap on this conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to hear the full 30-minute back-to-back, then please drop a yes in the comments below and I will make that happen. If you haven't already, please do hit that like and subscribe button. But for now, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.